Good morning. I'm taking you on a walk today. It's not as nice today as it was yesterday. We've got cloud and it's a lot cooler and a bit of breeze. Now it's a shame because I did this walk yesterday. It was beautiful and sunny, not windy or anything. But it's a lovely walk and I thought you might enjoy some of it. I shan't be doing a lot of talking because I get self-conscious talking when I'm outside, and I may suddenly have to turn it off if somebody's approaching. But we're going through a place called Fulneck, which is a Moravian settlement not far from where we live. It's been there a couple of hundred years. There's a church there that was founded by the Moravians. I've only been in once for a funeral. It's a beautiful old building, but it's probably more famous for its school. There's an independent boarding and day school in Fulneck, and that's been there a couple of hundred years. And they've got a famous alumni, Dame Diana Rigg, who went there, apparently back in the 40s, early 50s. So yeah, but it's just a beautiful village. It really is a lovely village. It's all Grade 2 listed and lovely little cottages and nice views over to the woods and the valley and over towards Tong Village, which is also a nice place that one day we'll go for a walk around there as well. But we'd have to drive to it. We couldn't walk from home to Tong. So I'm going to take you with me. As I say, I did this walk yesterday and they'd moved the sheep. The sheep, when I go down this particular path, and there's a farm, and all the sheep and the babies were all inside the barns. I could hear them, but they'd moved them out into the field. I think it's just mummies and babies. Oh, they're so gorgeous, and it's so lovely and quiet. So yes, so I'll take you with me. As I say, I won't do a great deal of talking. When we get into the settlement, I will actually talk to you a little bit about one thing that's there. Some of you may recognise. They used it as they filmed a scene out from Gentleman Jack, if you watched Gentleman Jack, and there was a scene in the last series where they go into an outfitter's. There wasn't a particularly long scene, and she walks down the actual street and then into this shop. It's actually a tea room. Well, it was a tea room. Unfortunately, it's closed. So yeah, so I'll show you that and see if you recognise it, because we'll be going up rather than down the street. So yeah, I'll turn around and film the view down the street that you would have seen on the TV series. So okay, so we're just going up here. I got cut off then. Don't know why. It just went off. Luckily I noticed it before I was doing like I did the other week, and I was talking to myself and I hadn't pressed record. But no, it's definitely recording this time. So I haven't got a fancy camera, as you know. I haven't got a microphone that stops the wind noise and stops the rocking and swaying around. So I shan't film every step of this walk because you'll end up feeling seasick. But this is a nice little path through. It goes through a housing estate, to be fair, but it's nice to have a proper hedgerow. You know, it's not Lelandai, it's a proper hedgerow, an old-fashioned English hedgerow, which is lovely to see. Very popular with dog walkers on here though, so you do have to watch where you put your feet. Look at this cow parsley coming up. Yesterday when I was on this walk, it felt like proper summer. Even had that smell, you know, that summer smell, and the mingling of the cow parsley and the newly mown grass, and the birds were singing, the lambs were bleating, and there was one cow in a barn that you could hear lowing. That was the only sound I could hear. It's beautiful. So hopefully I can capture it today for you. We'll see. So I shall pick up the camera when we get to a slightly nicer views, because at the moment we're coming up to the end of this path and there's a housing estate. That's a school over there. My daughter went to that school. It's a primary school. Well, it's an infant and primary. She went there. It's a lovely school. Well, it certainly was when she was there. It's a long time ago now, so... Oh, it's quite steep as well as this path. You can tell by my voice, can't you? So I'll see you later. How gorgeous. Look at this old building. Looks derelict. It's even got a dovecot at the top. Isn't it gorgeous? It's sad to see a building that's empty. I should imagine it's part of a farm that I was talking about. I imagine it was one of their buildings originally. So now we're approaching this farm, which is a stunning house. And I don't know why I'm whispering because there's nobody around at the moment. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous house. I don't think it was always a farm. I think, to be honest, it's more of a small holding. I think originally it was just a beautiful old house. Probably owned by some industrialist, maybe. And that's quite a nice house down there, look. Look at this one. Don't think there's anyone around. Woodlands. Isn't it beautiful? With gates on. And lots of wonderful trees. They even have there's nothing in it at the moment, but they even have a box outside where they put eggs and an honesty box, which is nice, so you can buy eggs. But yeah, beautiful. So, we'll go on the path. You can hear a dog barking, that's spoiling the atmosphere a little bit, isn't it? So this ginnel, as we would call it round here in Yorkshire, snicket, alleyway, don't know what you want to call it. Anyway, it leads between the house and a field that I think they also own or rent, or I'm not sure, where they can let their animals graze. Oh good, they're still here. I had a funny feeling. I thought, you know, I'm doing this walk again, which I don't normally do the same walk 2 days running, and I better get here and there's no sheep. They've moved them back. Hello. Hello, darling. There they are. Mummies and babies. There's the baby. More babies. You've got a lovely baby, haven't you? Yes. Let's keep going. There's some more down here. Let's see what we can see. It's not as clear to see over there. Maybe you'll see better when we get nearer. I hope so, because it's a beautiful view. Right on the top of the hill. You probably won't be able to see it. There's a school. But that's way over, a long way away. It's not a school in our area. Oh, there's a couple of black sheep as well. Bar black sheep. Have you any wool? I'm sure he does. She does, sorry. I think they're all females. I'm not a farmer, as you know. But I wouldn't have thought that the daddy sheep, the rams, would be put in here with the mummies and the babies. I think they did their job back in the winter, didn't they? They don't really need them now in here. I can't hear the cow. We could hear the cow lowing yesterday. I'm saying we, I was on my own. I could. I'm on my own today, actually. My husband's at home. He's doing some work in the garden. Still nobody around, is there? No. So it's a nice house as well. I think they own this field and the farm, that small holding next door. Oh, you can hear the sheep. I think they rent the field to put their sheep in. There's lots of lovely lush grass for them. Look at these two. Oh, look at those. Are they twins, do you think? Look. Aren't they adorable? Oh, it just makes you think. It just feels summery, doesn't it, when you see lambs? And it's the 2nd of May, so it is, well, as you know, I follow the pagan Celtic wheel of the year, so it is summer. First day of summer yesterday at Beltane, the Altona, whatever you want to call it. But it makes you feel summery, doesn't it? Look. You are adorable. Little twins. Is that your mummy? There's another pair up there. I think it's quite common for them to have two. There's quite a few that seem to be paired up. Maybe they're just maybe friends, I don't know. He's got a tickle. Probably got a flea. But they've got the same markings, so I think they're twins. Oh, they're adorable. Obviously not newborn, they're quite a couple of months old, I don't know, something like that. Still adorable. So there we are. Anyway, yes. I was going to say that yesterday one of them spoke to me. We had a conversation. He stared right at me and he started buying at me. They seem too intent on eating today, don't they? And there are a couple asleep down in the corner here, and I'm glad to see they're not there because one looked really ill. That's quite a young baby, isn't it? That looks a young one. Oh, going up to his mummy because it's a chilly morning. Eh? You're just having a lie down now. You're not going to speak to me today. No, he says that was a very silly impersonation, Julie, of a sheep. Please go away, we're not stupid. They are lovely though, aren't they? Very rarely I eat lamb. Not because I see them and think, oh, I can't eat them. I just don't particularly like it, so same with pork. I'm mainly chicken, to be honest, fish. I don't consider myself semi-vegetarian at all, but oh, now they've got steps here, so bear with. Don't want to go tumbling down there. Tell you what I've seen a lot of this year. I saw some yesterday. I'm probably not going to see any today now. Ladybirds. Fabulous. We've got absolutely loads of ladybirds around. Really great news. Oh, listen. Can you hear Mr. B? Mr. Blackbird singing. Do it again. There he goes. My favourite is blackbirds. The song of the blackbird is my favourite. We have a friendly pair that are nesting in not far from our garden, and they come in every day and sing to me. I love them. Anyway, we'll keep moving. It seems some more traffic noise today, I don't know why. But when we get down here, I'll shut up, you'll be pleased to know. I'll stop talking, but I'll keep recording. And hopefully, you'll be able to pick up the sounds of the birds a bit better. In fact, I'll start now. I'll shut up from now. The sun is shining. Hey. I'm trying to. Bit hazy. Now those are lovely cottages over there. But they have a pub right next door. It's a lovely pub. It's just reopened. It was closed for 2 years. It does the most amazing food. It's got a wonderful beer garden at the front that looks out over the valley and the woods. But we won't be going past it today. Going this way, we don't go past it. So yeah, it might be nice now, but I'm sure there are times when living there it's a little bit noisy. I mean, it's not a rowdy kind of pub because you need to walk to Fairish Way or have a car to get there. So we aren't going to get people getting roaring drunk. It tends to be a family orientated pub. Busy on a weekend for meals and things. But I particularly like the end cottage. They've had some renovation work done. All the stonework's been cleaned. And I'll get further down, I'll see if I can zoom in. And they've got like a glass room extension, whatever you want to call it, on the front. Because that's where the views are, obviously, at the front. I think their view might well be impinged by the pub, actually. So that's the cottage there. And that is the pub. Which doesn't look very nice from this angle, but it is lovely at the front. So their views will be, impacted upon, won't they? But then, the pub's been there a long time, so I'm going to turn off the camera for a few minutes while I get down to the end of this path, because it's a bit uneven and the steps. And then we'll actually be as good as in the settlement of Full Neck when we get to the bottom of here. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, it'll be a split second to you. Well, here we are. Just about to go into the settlement. Now this is a public footpath down here, look at this. It's a fabulous walk one day. I don't want to do it on my own, I'll have to have Andrew with me, I think. This one leads down to the golf course and to the woods, Blackcar Woods, and across to Tong. You can walk to Tong. Yeah, so that is what I want to do at some point this summer when Andrew's with me. So we're about to enter the settlement. The car's here. This is the car park for the school. All the teachers park here, which spoils it a little bit. But you've got to park somewhere in modern times. There's no buses here. You can't walk here if you live any distance. Look at that wonderful white honesty. When it turns to seed heads, I'm going to help myself to a few seed heads. I have some purple, but not white. Now it's a one-way through here, so any traffic will come towards us, so that's quite good. Which is also a good reason to walk this way when you're filming. Look at the old-fashioned lampposts. I say it's all, it might be grade 1 listed. Nearly all the cottages, they're all gorgeous. They're nearly all owned by the church. There's somebody coming. And they have to rent them. Don't have to be a Moravian, but yeah, I'm walking the pavement. I think the pavement look is listed. They can't tarmac it if they get some cracked paths, cracked paving stones. They have to be replaced with other paving stones. That's the old-fashioned lamp. Look at it, stunning. So I'll just pause it while this person gets past, and then I'll show you a bit more. Now, I like this house. It's all on the roadside. It's on one level. At the back, it's on 2. There's a car coming. All the houses are so lovely. Look at this one. Again, one level at this side. And if we walk down here, you can see the gardens at the back, and they're gorgeous. Now that down there, that's the golf course, Full Neck Golf Course. And we've got Blackcar Woods, and then right up the top of the hill, we've got Tong. The garden here goes right down to the golf course. It's gorgeous. My husband knows the people who live in this house. Oh dear, had a pot knocked over. Oh dear, a tree knocked over. It's probably foxes or squirrels that have done that, you know. But actually, the garden of the other house I first showed you, their garden, which is further back there, that runs right down to the bottom. I think that's a nicer garden. And it's got trees at the side of it, and it's straight down to the woods. Listen to the birds. Look at this garden. It's lovely, isn't it? And at the bottom, look, they've got a little private way to go down, and I don't know if there's a table and chairs or anything, so somewhere private to sit, because otherwise you get all the nosy beggars like me standing here watching, looking at the garden. You get a lot of walkers in the weekends through here, a lot of ramblers. But that's a lovely garden, that, isn't it? So if we go further along here, checking there's no people. Oh, there's a car coming, just a second. Now just up here is the tea room I mentioned earlier that was used in filming Gentleman Jack. There's also a group of dog walkers up here standing talking. Honestly, the cheek when I'm filming, eh? So I'm not going to speak, but I'll show you the tea room as is, but I have to say it was a gentleman's, it was an outfit, it was a clothes shop, what we call a clothes shop, Georgian Gentleman's Outfitters or something. And then when I get further along, I shall turn round and film the view coming down. That's it. Now inside, I can't go in, unfortunately, because it's closed. They had the sign, they changed the sign. BBC, when they filmed, obviously. They took that sign that says number 54, they took that down and replaced it with their own sign, and they gave them the sign and they had it up on inside the cafe tea room, which was lovely. So, but yeah, so that was Gentleman Jack's Outfitters, and when we get further up, that's the school, or the start of the school. When we get further up, I'll turn round and film the view coming down, which will show you what the street was like that Sir Anne Jones walked down towards the shop. So I'll be back in a few. Okay then, so this is the school. That's part of the school. It doesn't look much from this side, because what you've got to remember is this is actually the back of it. Now I have been in it because a friend of mine was head of maths there, and they had some kind of a summer fair, and when you come out at the front, the steps down to the lawn, it's absolutely stunning. If you check out their website, you see the better view of the front of it. The view you would see as a prospective parent who was your little darling was going to come and board here. That's the view they would show you. But yes, this is the school. They've got lots of modern extra parts to it on the other side of the road as well. The building there with the clock on, as we get a bit nearer, I'll show you. That's the church. Now this is the museum, which I still have not been in. It's a museum all about the history of the settlement and the school and everything. These little cottages are gorgeous. Here we'll cross over the road and I'll show you the cottages. Yeah, I think it's only open on, is it 2 days a week? Founded in the 18th century, a living community today. So yeah, I would like to go. It's free to go in, it's just not open very often. These cottages are so cute, look at them. Little gardens at the front. I think they're all owned by the church. But I have a friend who rents a house from them. Not actually here in the settlement, but in a few minutes we'll go past some steps, and that goes up to the top where there's a dramatic society who have, it's called the Communicus Centre, and they have plays there, and it's used for various things. They're not affiliated to the settlement particularly, or to the church, and as I say, my friend's house is at the top of there, and she rents it, And she's not a Moravian. Isn't it lovely that? But it's not cheap apparently. They're very expensive to rent, which is why they struggle. Apparently they've got 5 empty properties. It's not obvious where they are. So yeah, you go up the steps here. That's the community centre at the top. And there's some playing fields up there that the school uses. And my friend's house is up there. This is the church. It's a beautiful church inside. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, lovely. A bit of scaffolding down there, but yeah. So I'll back in a while when we get to the other end. Some of the lovely houses. Got another then. Going to walk in the road to capture these little cottages better. Look at these. Oh, they're gorgeous. You can see they're all very similar. Windows and doors, very old Georgian windows. These are probably some of the originals. Look, that window at the top. That's been blocked in with some stone. Used to do a lot of that, didn't they? So it was expensive, it was glass. I had to pay tax on it. I nearly can come to the outside, shall we say, the far side of the settlement. Show you this field. Now this is a road again I would have to live down. Couldn't afford it. Doesn't look much from here, but there's a, if you go down this, where those houses are, if you go down the road there, some gorgeous houses further down. It's isolated houses on that street. Yeah, big detached ones, but very nice. With views over the valley. And these last houses, now these are lovely too. They're nearer to the main road, but they've got lovely long front gardens. They're much bigger, probably the biggest houses in the settlement, I would have thought. And of course, one of our famous sons was born in one of the houses up here. Has a blue plaque on it. I'll show you in a moment. Aren't they gorgeous though? Now I could happily live in one of these, even though it's near the main road. This is the birds. See, you'd hear the birds more than you'd hear the road, I think. Maybe there is some workmen somewhere as well, doing some work, which doesn't help. Oh, I wish I could stabilise this better. It's been jiggling about a bit. I'm sorry about that if you can't bear it. If you made it this far. I had a bit laceerated. Tripped, that's what you get. Yes, so that's the same. Yes, if you made it this far, thank you. And I'm sorry if it's made you seasick. It's very hard to film and walk at the same time when you've not got a proper camera. There we are. So I can't zoom in enough for you to be able to read it. I don't think, but I will tell you it was the birthplace of Sir Leonard Hutton, who was a very famous Yorkshire and England cricketer and played at our local club, where my husband also had the honour of playing as man and boy, and was secretary of for 20 years. So yes, I think that concludes our tour of Full Neck, our morning walk. It's been quite long, is this, by the time I've cobbled it all together. So I hope it wasn't too jiggery about. I hope it was educational and you enjoyed the views and you could hear the birds. I shan't know until I get home and edit it all together. But we're back on the main road now, and there's nothing else on this road worth filming. I'm just going straight down the road and along and home, basically. So, okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.